my cozy and classy viewers, welcome to my cozy and classy side of the internet. My name is Kimani and today I'm here to discuss one of my favorite coffee shop outlets, Blank Street. I will be ranking all their matchas into 5 tiers and also the additional assortment of pastries and sweet treats. If that sounds interesting to you, please like and click that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Now, I have created 5 tiers in order to rank all of Blank Street's matcha flavors. Let's start off with the bottom tier. The bottom tier is simply regret trying this. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Please don't try this, especially if you're going to Blank Street for the first time. Second to bottom tier is this does not work with matcha. As the name suggests, the flavor just simply doesn't go well with the matcha. The flavors don't really harmonize together. Mid tier is mid. It's just a mid drink. Second highest tier is classics. And just to let you know, anything that is ranked classics or above, you should definitely go try in one of Blank Street's coffee shops. It's really good, especially if you're trying it out for the first time. Definitely try classics and above. And then the top tier is that another part of me would die if this is ever taken off the menu, which low-key has already happened before, unfortunately for me. Yeah, I don't know what I would do without these flavors. They're absolutely scrumptious. So now that you guys know the tiers, let's get into the actual rankings. So we are going to rank the matches in alphabetical order, starting with apple butter. So apple butter I'm gonna put into this does not work tier. It was nice, but it tasted like apple juice. It was a refreshing drink for autumn and I kind of get what they were trying to go for. I think they wanted more of like an apple pie sort of feel. It simply just tasted like apple juice though, and it's not like that's a bad flavor, but like if I'm going to buy a matcha, I want to taste the matcha. I don't just want to taste a completely different flavor, if that's what you're saying. The flavor just did not work with the matcha, and you'll see that's a very common trend in the this does not work tier. It's just that the flavoring overpowers the matcha taste. Next up on the agenda is banana bread, and I'm putting this in this does not work, same as apple butter, for the exact same reason. It had this really sickly sweet banana-y taste, which I know this might be an unpopular opinion because apparently banana bread is super popular, but I just did not like it. I don't think it went very well with the matcha. Next on the chocolate blanc is blondie. I think this is brown sugar caramel, miso, and cookie butter. And I am going to be the first one to say that I do not like this matcha. And I think it's because it tastes like Biscoff and caramel, and I do not like Biscoff or caramel. So I am biased. But I am still gonna put this in the classics tier because I feel like the flavor itself goes really well with matcha. I don't think it's too overpowering. I think it's just about right if it's made correctly. And I also know this is super popular. I know basically everybody in my personal circle who has tried this matcha has liked it. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in classics. Even though I don't personally like it, I will admit that Blank Street sort of ate with this flavor. It was really, really nice. And then after such a huge compliment, I have to say that blueberry was disgusting to me. This is also super unpopular. I know a lot of people must love it since it's a permanent flavor on their menu. It's not seasonal. But I'm so sorry. I've tasted that matcha both hot and cold, and I cannot stand the taste. It just, ugh. I regret ever tasting that. And ironically, it was actually my first taste. Like, it was the first thing that I ever got at Blank Street. And when I tasted that, I was just like, ugh, matcha's so disgusting. I'm never coming to this coffee shop again. And then someone convinced me to finally go back and try the white chocolate, which was miles better. But all I'm gonna say is don't try blueberry. Like, just don't. Cherry glaze. Now, I'm going to sound like a bit of a hypocrite now because I don't like cherry glaze and I don't like cherries, similar to how I don't like blueberry matcha and I also don't like blueberries, but I am actually going to put this in the mid tier. And the reason why I'm going to put it in the mid tier is because, how do I say, I feel like the cherry flavor is subtle enough to go well with the matcha. Not as great as Blondie, I will say, which is why it's going in the mid tier. I wouldn't say it's quite classic. I feel like the cherry flavour is a bit too sharp for that. But I will say I know quite a few people who also like this flavour in person. I've also heard that the cherry glazed coffee was really good as well. So for that reason, I'm going to place this in the mid tier. Coconut cream is mid as well. I feel like the flavour could have been better if the coconut flavour was died down a bit so that the matcha could really, like, you could still taste the matcha. When I drink the coconut matcha, I just taste coconut milk, to be honest. Definitely not worth the extra charge that they put on the coconut matcha compared to the other matcha flavors, but you know, it is decent, it's solid, mid. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on that one. Moving on, cookies and cream was a really nice matcha. I'm gonna put this in the classics tier. It had this subtle sweetness. It's essentially like chocolate cookie and white chocolate, almost like an Oreo flavor, but I would say just a little more subtle in flavor. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the fact that there was crushed like cookies in the actual drink. But I could forgive the differences in textures because it was a really nice drink, a very nice summer flavor, I would like to add. Next up, Daydream. Oh my goodness. Daydream is honey, cinnamon, and oh, what else is it? Honey, cinnamon, and vanilla. It is absolutely delicious. It feels like you're being hugged, whether you get it hot or cold. And might I say, I feel like it tastes great hot as well. I feel like, you know, regular matcha, like plain matcha latte, tastes good both hot and cold. But when it comes to flavored matcha, maybe it's just that Blank Street, but I feel like most of them only taste good iced. They don't really translate well when they're hot. But Daydream is one of those flavors where you can drink it hot and cold and it would taste just as good. It's an amazing flavor, and that's a trend that you'll see a lot in the top tier. Yes, I'm putting Daydream into a little part of me would die if this was taken off the menu. That's a very common trend in the top tier where they all taste good, like either hot or cold. Brilliant flavor. And following up, another top contender was Earl Grey. Now this was the one that was taken off the menu. It was on Blank Street's menu for the winter of 2025-2026, and then it was taken off, unfortunately. Apparently it wasn't like popular enough like Blondie to be kept on the menu, which I'm still kind of bitter about. But oh my goodness, Earl Grey was so good. A very like subtle floral sweetness. It went so well with the matcha. Delicious flavor. I really do hope to see it again this winter. Now, imagine my disappointment when Earl Grey was replaced by the lemon loaf matcha. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm gonna put this in this does not work. It was, how do I describe it? Well, for one, like, I felt like if you didn't mix it, for one, you would get, like, the lemon curd was really nice, like, in the matcha, but, like, it didn't mix well with the matcha, both literally and also in taste. So literally it was very hard to mix the lemon curd into the matcha, and even when it did dissolve into the matcha, it just transformed the flavor profile into this not so nice flavor. It wasn't good, to be honest. The bitterness and like subtleness of the matcha mixed with the very like tangy sort of like sharp taste of the lemon just did not work together. This does not work here. I wouldn't say it was a good flavor. A regular old matcha latte, I'm gonna have to put this in the classics. It's basic, but it's good. A matcha latte will always slap, hands down. I'm one of those people who genuinely likes matcha, so I really enjoyed it. What I will say though is that the matcha latte at Blank Street is very subtle in flavor, which is great for beginners, but I feel like if you're really into matcha, the flavor is just not going to be strong enough for you. But for me personally, I really enjoyed it. Miami Vice does not work. Same as apple butter, just like it tasted like pineapple juice. Yeah, it did not work. Pistachio was mid. Again, just like coconut cream, it is not worth like the surplus charge that they add onto that matcha. I wouldn't buy it like out of pocket, but if I'd gathered enough points, I had a gift card, like I was welcome to buy the pistachio matcha. I felt like it was quite nice. Not impressive though, and it definitely in certain sips would taste a little weird. But overall, it was a really good matcha. I quite enjoyed it. Shaken vanilla. It's classic, it's basic, it's good. Anything vanilla is good. We all know that, don't we? I will say though, if you just ask for a regular old matcha latte and then ask to have vanilla syrup added in for an extra 50p, it's basically the same matcha but just a tad bit cheaper, marginally cheaper. But yeah, good flavour, classic flavour. Strawberry shortcake, I did not like either. I did not like gel with this matcha at all. I wouldn't say it was as bad as blueberry, but definitely it gave off a very like sickly, sweet strawberry taste, very artificial tasting. I did not like that matcha, and I don't think it gelled well with the matcha in general, which again I feel like is going to be a really unpopular opinion because I know strawberry matcha is quite popular. I think you can find it in almost every single like chain that sells matcha at all, but I just don't think strawberry and matcha go together. I'm sorry, it does not work. Did not like it. And then last up on the list, white chocolate. This flavor that saved my relationship with Blank Street and then transformed it into a little bit of a toxic relationship, might I add. This was such a good flavor. It's the flavor that I always recommend to anyone who's trying matcha for the first time. So good, so yummy, and this is coming from someone who absolutely despises white chocolate. And yeah, I even love the flavor. It's my go-to whenever I go to my local Blank Street chain. 10 out of 10, absolutely love it. A piece of me would die if this was ever taken off the menu. Okay, and now we have a little bonus round. We've rated all the matchas. A little note, I'm not ranking the coffees because I don't drink coffee, so I've never tasted the coffees, but I have tasted some other things in Blank Street, so I'll take a top-bottom approach to talk about these things. So first off is the pistachio cookie and the chocolate banana bread. Both I would put in the classics tier. These are really good, quite tasty. If you ever want to try like a sweet treat from Blank Street, definitely recommend either of those two options. Next up in the mid tier is the hot chocolate, the pistachio, pinot chocolat, and almond croissant. They're nice, but I feel like you could get them at any other like coffee shop, pastry shop, and so on. I even think the hot chocolate is a bit below average, but I have a soft spot for hot chocolate and I have a soft spot for Blank Street, so I'm going to keep this in the mid tier. And then skipping all the way to, I regret trying this, the cinnamon bun. Do not try the cinnamon bun. It was stale, it did not taste like cinnamon. Just don't try it. Trust me on this. Don't try it. Well, that is the end of the video. I feel like I've learned quite a bit through doing all these rankings and like giving justifications as to why I like certain matchas and why I don't like others. I feel like I prefer very subtle flavors when it comes to matcha, whereas sharper, more fruity flavors I just don't think gel well together. So I've learned something about myself, and I hope that you've learned from this video that you should go if you have a Blank Street near you, or if you're ever going into like, I don't know, central London, or maybe you're in the US in New York or wherever there's a Blank Street chain. I would definitely recommend trying it. Try from the top tiers, you know, classics and above. I would definitely recommend you go try out that coffee shop. I do love Blank Street quite a lot. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and please leave a comment below. What are your favorite flavors? What are your least favorite flavors? Do you agree with my ranking? Do you disagree? And let me know, like, do you like Blank Street, or do you think there are better coffee chains out there? Let me know. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.